Hey, good morning from Chicago, Illinois in the USA. My name is Dr. Lauren Nehlsen, and I am so pleased that you are here today to listen to our presentation on an accessible and affordable U.S. higher education, learning English, or starting your bachelor's degree in the U.S. at Elgin Community College. I am the Associate Dean of Recruitment, Outreach Services, and Global Engagement at Elgin Community College, also known as ECC. We are just outside Chicago, Illinois, the third largest city in the U.S. And today we are going to share some information with you about how you can pursue an accessible and affordable education in the U.S. by tapping into one of what I call the hidden gems of university education and the post-secondary education system here in the U.S., known as community colleges. You may have heard of them before, but you may not know a lot about them. And so we're going to give you a high-level view today about what community colleges are and what they provide. We're also going to look at some of the unique opportunities that ECC can offer to international students like yourself. So whether you're looking to improve your English skills or you're just beginning your journey towards a bachelor's degree, community colleges can provide a very supportive and affordable environment to help you achieve your educational goals. So we look forward to having you join us as we delve into the benefits and the programs and the academic quality and student support resources that are available at community colleges such as ECC, and discover how you can embark on an enriching academic experience in the United States. So I would like to share a presentation here with you. So give me 1 second while we get our tech here going. Okay. So for today's presentation, we are going to touch on understanding the U.S. community college system. And so these are what we call learning outcomes. And by the end of this presentation, this is what you are going to learn. You're going to be able to understand the U.S. community college system, specifically explaining how community colleges offer accessibility to a post-secondary education. Now, post-secondary education is simply a university education. Identify the benefits of starting an education at a community college for international students such as yourself. Understand affordability and financial accessibility, specifically identifying the cost advantages of attending a community college compared to a four-year university. Understanding the pathways to a bachelor's degree. Now, in the U.S., a bachelor's degree is typically a four-year degree. So we want you to be able to explain how ESL programs can help improve academic and everyday English proficiency for international students, and describe the 2+2 model, which is 2 years at a community college, followed by 2 years at a university. And then we're going to talk a little bit about opportunities for your future at ECC. Understand those academic and student support services that are available for you, and discuss the international student application process and all those wonderful things that are available to you as an international student at ECC. So the U.S. community college system, the first thing you have to know is, what is a community college? And a U.S. community college is typically a type of educational institution that provides the first 2 years of higher education leading to an associate degree or certificate. Many students will recognize this as the first 2 years of a bachelor's degree. And when you complete the first 2 years of a bachelor's degree, it will culminate in something known as an associate's degree. Community colleges also offer career technical programs. They also offer certificate programs and non-credit community programming. The reason they are often known as community colleges is because they serve local communities. And they were set up so that local communities had access to higher education. And so they offer different types of community programming. They offer the first 2 years of a bachelor's degree, but they also offer a career technical, access to career technical programming. Many of those career technical programs will have degrees known as Associate of Applied Sciences, which are direct degrees into the workforce, and then Associate of Arts or Associate of Science degrees, which are more commonly transfer degrees. So many students will choose to complete an associate degree at a community college, such as an Associate of Arts or an Associate of Science, and transfer to a four-year university or college. Other students may go into the career technology programs and complete certificates or complete Associate of Applied Science degrees. Other community colleges, many community colleges have lots of different types of associate degrees. There may be Associate of Engineering Science, Associate in Fine Arts, Associate of Liberal Studies, and community colleges are designed to serve a very broad population, including adult learners, recent high school graduates, and the entire point is to provide access to post-secondary education. They often have open admission policies, making them much more inclusive and accommodating to various educational backgrounds. And so the benefits of a community college are that they have articulation agreements with many four-year universities, enabling students to transfer credits and continue their education towards a bachelor's degree. And this is 2 years at a community college where you would earn that associate degree, and then 2 years at a university where then you would earn your bachelor's degree. This is known as 2+2 transfer programs. These pathways make it easier and more cost-effective for students to complete their higher education. And a lot of students may get very overwhelmed by the prospect of starting at one college, such as a community college, and then transferring to another university to actually complete their bachelor's degree. But actually, it's very, very common in the United States for U.S. Students to start at a community college and then transfer to finish their bachelor's degree at a university. More than 60% of American students start at a community college. And many students who are in high school, American students who are in high school, are actually taking college level courses at community college while they're actually in high school. And this is known as dual credit or dual enrolled programs. So many communities are very familiar with their local community college, and many international students are becoming more familiar with community colleges as it becomes, as more awareness is becoming surrounded about community colleges. Now, one of the biggest factors and one of the biggest benefits of community colleges is affordability. Community colleges will generally have lower tuition fees compared to four-year universities. This makes higher education much more affordable for students who may be otherwise unable to pursue a college degree due to high tuition costs. Now, we all know that tuition in the United States can be much, much more expensive than maybe in your home country. It is not irregular or abnormal to spend somewhere between $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 per year on just tuition at a four-year university. But at a community college, you're going to spend a lot less because the local tuition is going to be factored in, because community colleges are typically public institutions. They are factored in, taxes are factored in by the local state and the local community. So that is going to help bring those tuition costs down. And they are teaching colleges, which means that faculty who are teaching at the community college are there to help students and to teach. They are typically not doing research, such as professors that are teaching at a four-year university. So you can also apply for scholarships at community colleges. You can also save time and money by saving money and going to a school with more affordable tuition. Community colleges also will have much smaller class sizes than four-year universities. Many four-year universities that are very large with 20, 30, 40,000 students may have lecture halls that have hundreds of students in them. But at community colleges, it is very common to find class sizes with 25 students or less. And with this small class size, you're going to find more personalized learning experience. In the U.S., the higher education system is very personalized, it's very individualistic. You will have an experience where you are selecting your own classes, and it is your responsibility to ensure that you are selecting the classes that need to go into the major in order to accomplish your educational goals. Students have greater access to their instructors when you're in a smaller class size environment, which can create more individualized attention and support. And with this flexibility, you're going to find quality academic programs that are no different than at your university for 100 and 200 level classes. And you can also have transfer to your university or immediate employment after graduation, such as OPT. You can also, if you're doing an AAS, or a career technical field, you may be able to find immediate employment. If you exit the United States, go back to your home country. We've had lots of students who've done AAS degrees and been able to find immediate employment in good fields in their home countries after graduation. So let's talk a little bit about affordability. One of the biggest questions that we get is, how can a community college help me save money? Now, community colleges do have lower tuition fees that can result in substantial savings. They also usually have lower fees overall. So tuition is just one part of the package that you're going to pay when you come to the United States. Oftentimes you'll see tuition and fees on your bill, and community colleges are always going to have lower fees than universities. A lot of times they have free parking. You're not going to pay for parking, and their activities fees are going to be much, much lower, if any. You may have a very, very low fee per semester, maybe somewhere between $5 and $20 compared to maybe over $100 per semester at a university, plus miscellaneous costs, depending on where you're going. You're also going to find flexible payment plans and registration options. Many community colleges will have late start classes. So they may have classes that start during the semester that start late, and that will give you a little bit more flexibility. Many community colleges also offer scholarships and other financial aid options that you may want to take advantage of. As an international student, for example, if you come over on a F1 full-time visa, you are allowed to work on campus if you are in status and you are on a legal F1 visa. You are still allowed to work on campus if you are attending a community college. We do get this question quite a bit. Many students may think that just because they're attending a community college, they are not allowed to work on campus if they're not attending a university. And the answer to that is, you still are allowed to work on campus from day one. You are allowed to work on campus up to 20 hours a week from day one if you are on an F1 visa. And many students do take advantage of that. And I do encourage you to, regardless of where you may attend, whether it's a community college, a language school, or a university, whatever level you may be at, to really look at on-campus employment or getting involved on campus. The U.S. higher education system is very individualistic. It can be very personalized, and it is up to you to make sure that you have the experience that you want. You're going to create that experience. And you have to go out and make sure that you are meeting people. People are not going to come knocking on your door and asking you, if you want to be your friend. And so the best way to do that is to get involved on campus. And there's no better way to do that than, besides getting involved with student clubs and organizations, than working on campus. It's a great way to develop skills. It's a great way to meet people, but it is also a great way to beef up your resume. If we look at international student comparisons, when we talk about financial accessibility, we can look at some real life examples here. Okay, so one of the many benefits of community college is affordability and financial accessibility. And lower tuition fees can save you substantial Can save you substantial dollars. So let's look at a couple of real life examples. So a top ranked community college, we're going to use Elgin Community College here as an example. So if you took a full load of classes, and we're talking anywhere between 15, full-time is 12 semester hours per semester, but most of our students take between 15 and 18 hours per semester. For a full year of tuition and fees, you're looking at around $9,500 per semester, per year, excuse me. This is per year, not per semester, per year annually in tuition, is about $9,500, okay? And ECC is one of the top ranked community colleges by the Aspen Institute in the U.S. This year, we were ranked the top 25. Compared to a standard public university, a good standard public university, such as the University of Iowa, you're looking at annual tuition, just tuition, $32,600. And if you look at one of the top ranked public universities, such as the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, annual tuition is going to be roughly $41,500, depending on your major, if you're an undergraduate student. And if we looked at a top-ranked private university here in the Midwest, we're looking at Purdue University today. Lots of students transfer to Purdue University. You're looking at over $66,400. So just between the savings by attending a community college for 2 years, you're going to be saving lots and lots of money if you were to attend a standard versus attending a standard, a top-ranked public university, or a top-ranked private university. Now, one of the questions that we get a lot from students who may be considering a community college is, how do I go from a community college to a bachelor's degree? And what I would say is you have to think about where it is that you are. So lots of students who come to the U.S. need to start out by improving their English. And if you need to improve or learn English, community colleges are a really, really great way to start out. Many community colleges will offer structured full-time ESL programs for learning English with a curriculum designed to build these skills. And these programs often will meet the F1 visa guidelines that are required to be full-time. If you do need to improve your English, these programs will focus on reading, writing, listening, and speaking. And these programs often include cultural orientation components. They will help international students such as yourself understand and adapt to the social and cultural norms of American culture. They also usually provide numerous opportunities for you to practice your English in a supportive setting. This can include classroom activities, language labs, group projects, social events, all designed to encourage active use of English. So the difference between attending something such as like a language school versus a ESL program at a community college is that if you attend a community college-based ESL program that is full-time, that is eligible for F1 students to enroll in, you're going to be able to transition much more easily from an ESL program at a community college to an academic level, associate level program at a community college. And in my experience, those programs tend to have a lot more cultural orientation components. There's a lot more support. There's a lot more classroom activities that are going to help you and encourage you to adapt to the social and cultural norms of American culture. So for example, at ECC, we have something called the Intensive English Program. The Intensive English Program is a full-time 20-hour-a-week program that follows a very highly effective program called the Focal Skills Approach. And that is a program that allows language skills to build on one another very naturally. And the nice thing about this program is that there's 4 levels, which you can move through pretty quickly. We've had students move through the program who speak no English in less than a year and a half. And the 4 levels are listening, reading, writing, and pre-collegiate. And that last level is a nice level because it's actually a bridge pathway to college level courses. And there's flexible start dates for this program in August, October, January, March, and June. So there's 2 start dates in the fall semester, 2 start dates in the spring semester, and then 1 in the summer semester. And in this particular program, you take a test every 8 weeks to see if you can move to the next level. And the nice thing about the intensive English program is that it's a cohort model. So in this program, students who are in the cohort model very easily are able to make friends. They become acclimated to American culture just by the themes and the assignments that are assigned within the courses and the modules, and they are able to build relationships with faculty inside and outside the classroom with engaged learning opportunities. They also, during that pre-collegiate bridge pathway program, are preparing for college readiness placement testing with guided advising and support so that when they are ready to take placement testing for their academic level program, they are prepared, and we are preparing them with support and guidance to place as high as possible so that they are prepared for their associate level program. Now, if you already know English and you're looking to come directly into your academic program, you are going to go directly into that 2+2 program. And this is exactly, I love this graphic because it gives you a really good visual of what a 2+2 is. So basically that 2 years at community college, 2 years at university is going to get you that 4-year bachelor's degree. So the nice thing about a pathway to a bachelor's degree at community college is you're able to transfer to top ranked universities through what is called transfer admission guarantees. Many community colleges have these. You may hear them referred to as tags. You may hear them referred to as articulation agreements. And at a community college with a very strong academic advising or very strong transfer services department, you're going to be able to sit down with an individual, usually an academic advisor, who's going to be able to sit down with you and say, what is your academic goal? What is your final educational goal? Where is it? What is it that you want to do? What is it that you ultimately want to major in? So in the US, we say your program of study is, what do you want to major in? And if you want to be a psychologist, let's say, you're going to say, I want to have a bachelor's degree in psychology because ultimately I want to get my doctorate in psychology. And that academic advisor is going to say, well, what university are you thinking about transferring to? And if you know what university you want to transfer to and you've identified the program of study that you want to do at that university, that academic advisor is able to create an individualized educational plan to transfer to that university for you from day one. But if you're not really sure and you're like, oh, I'm kind of choosing between 2 or 3 universities, that's okay. It's best to know which university you want to transfer to, but we can also create an individualized educational plan for you to any university in the US. Now, here at ECC, these are our most popular transfer schools for our international students. By far, number 1, University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, in central Illinois, one of the top 50 schools in the world, is our most popular transfer school. You might recognize some of these schools. University of Illinois at Chicago is also a popular transfer school, as well as Northern Illinois University, which is just down the road from us. Other popular schools include Arizona State, Columbia College, Missouri, Purdue. University of Michigan is always popular as well. DePaul, Loyola, Iowa State, Marquette, University of Iowa, University of Wisconsin-Madison, and the University of Kentucky. But if you want to go to, say, MIT, we had a student transfer to MIT a few years ago. We've had student transfer to the California system. We've had students transfer to Texas schools, to Florida schools. It does not have to be in Illinois. It doesn't even have to be within the Midwest. You can transfer to any school in the US as long as you have a detailed educational plan and you're taking the classes within your educational plan. So as long as you know what you want to study and where you want to go, your academic advisor can create an educational plan for you. And that holds true at any community college in the United States. As long as you have a strong transfer services department and you have a transfer admission guarantee or an articulation agreement, at the community college that you're going to, they should be able to create an educational plan for you. Now, here at ECC, we do want to talk to you a little bit about what we have to offer you as an international student. Like most community colleges, we're a public institution of higher learning. Now, what does that mean? A public institution means that we receive some of our funding from the state of Illinois, and we also receive some of our funding from the public. We are not a private institution. We are a public institution. We are a top 25 community college in the nation as designated by the Aspen Institution. We have over 10,000 students with a 1 to 20 student to faculty ratio. We were founded in 1949 and we are fully accredited by the Higher Learning Commission and recognized by the U.S. Department of Education. We are celebrating our 75th year this year. We have over 130 programs of study and over 1,000 transfer institution partners. So here is Illinois. So if you are not familiar with the United States, here's California. New York is over here. Washington, D.C. is right over here. And here's Florida. So Chicago, here's Illinois, and Chicago is right here, and Illinois is just right here in the suburbs. Here are some pictures from around campus. This is our beautiful campus. This is Lake Spartan. Lots of students like to go out and sit by Lake Spartan. And then some buildings from around campus. City of Chicago. City of Chicago, lots of students and community members and faculty and staff love to spend the weekend in Chicago. But the Elgin area has a population of about 120,000 people. And the Chicago metropolitan area, also known as Chicagoland, has an estimated population of 9 million people. Illinois has the 4th most Fortune 500 company corporate headquarters in the U.S., and Chicago itself is home to hundreds of businesses and over 35 publicly traded companies. It's also headquarters to State Farm Insurance, Boeing, McDonald's, Blue Cross Blue Shield, and many more. Now here at ECC, we offer lots of free student support resources. We offer lots of resources, individual support for anything that you may need. Some resources include academic and transfer advising, scholarships, student disability services, tutoring is free, wellness services is free. So wellness services are things like mental wellness support, counseling, those are free. If you need help with math, if you need help with writing, if you need help with tutoring in any subject, those are free. The Center for Global Engagement provides immigration advising, international recruitment, international services for free, and the intensive English program also provides additional support services. At ECC, we pride ourselves on making sure that all students feel welcomed and can find a place to belong. We encourage all students to get involved on campus with student-led clubs and organizations. We have over 30 student-led clubs and organizations, including an international student club called United Students of All Cultures, student government, engineering tech club. There are so many to list. There are tons of events for volunteering, community service, and civic engagement. We also have lots of athletic teams. We're Division II, including basketball, soccer, also known as football outside the U.S., baseball, tennis, and golf, both men's and women's teams. And then there is always something going on, lots of cultural events, lots of Heritage Month events. Once the fall semester starts again in August, there is always food on campus. There is always music in the lounge. I can't keep track of how many events we have on campus every day. There's always something going on. Our application process is fast, easy, and very streamlined. All of our application materials are accepted online. You can apply online at elgin.edu/apply. There's a non-refundable $50 processing fee. You do have to submit evidence of financial support, and if you have a sponsor that's not yourself, they have to fill out an affidavit of sponsorship. We do require high school or secondary education transcripts. So that would be like your high school transcripts, and if they're not in English, they have to be translated into English. You can upload those to our online application system. Photocopy of your passport, and then proof of English language proficiency if you are English language proficient, or you can enroll directly into our intensive English program. If you don't have proof of English language proficiency, no problem. And then our turnaround time for application processing in your I-20 is about 5 to 10 business days. And if you, in terms of housing, we do offer a full-time international student homestay program where you can live with a local American family. That is a separate application process. And otherwise, lots of students do rent apartments or flats in the local community, and we have a housing coordinator who is happy to help you with that. Our applicants must be at least 17 years of age, but our application process is pretty easy and pretty fast as long as you have all of your documents in order. If you have questions or you would like more information on ECC or admissions process, please reach out to us on social media, send us an email, or visit us online. Our social media tags are here. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook. You can reach us by email, give us a call, or reach us at elgin.edu/international. I am happy to take any questions at this time. And I do see that there are lots of questions in the chat. And so I'm going to take these in the order that I see them. Okay, so this question is from, and I'm going to apologize in advance if I mispronounce your name. Okay, this question is from Jahul. Do you offer medicine? So community colleges offer the first 2 years of a bachelor's degree, and in the U.S., you have to go to med school to be a doctor. So when you say medicine, that is what I'm assuming you mean, is that you want to be a physician or a doctor. So you would be considered a postgraduate student if you wanted to be a doctor. So if you wanted to be a doctor and study medicine, you would need to have a bachelor's degree, and then you would need to go take the appropriate examinations to be accepted into med school, which is very, very competitive. So at the community college level, you would pursue an Associate of Science, most likely with a major in biology, and then transfer to a four-year university to finish your Bachelor's of Science in biology or a related field, and then apply to med school. But if you are talking about health professions in general, the community colleges do offer health professions course programs. Yes, we do have 2-year health professions programs. We do have quite a few, actually. So some of the ones that we offer are ophthalmic technician. We have physical therapy assistant, surgical technology. There are a lot of different programs that are offered in the field of health professions. Health professions programs and some other types of programs that are in that area do tend to be special admission. So what that means is that you have to apply for general admission to the college first, usually as like an Associate of Arts or an Associate of Science student, complete prerequisites to apply to those special admission programs, and then apply. They're very competitive programs, and then be admitted. Okay, the next question I see is from Cornelius. What is the application deadline? That's a really, really good question. So most community colleges have what is called rolling admission deadlines. And what that means is that when you apply, your application, you can apply throughout the year, and your application will be considered for the term for which intake is being done. Some community colleges do advertise their application deadlines, and some do not. We do, and our application deadlines vary based on the semester that you're applying to. So for fall 2024, our application deadline for students who are outside the United States is July 1st. For spring 2025, if you were not coming for fall for intensive English, our application deadline is December 1st. Next question, I'm going to mispronounce your name, I'm sorry. Julia? I think it's Julia. What is the process for transferring credits from another college in Brazil to Elgin? Okay, excellent question. This is a really, really great question. I'm going to preface my answer by saying the process for transferring credits from outside the United States earned from an international university or other post-secondary institution is going to be different for each college and or university in the U.S. Every college has a different process. And what credits they are going to accept is going to be different at each institution. But in general, the process is going to look something like this. When you have earned credit from outside the United States, you will, at the post-secondary level, you do have to have it evaluated by what is called a credential evaluation service. And that has to be done for ECC, that has to be done by a NACCES accredited evaluation service. If you go on our website, we do have a list of credential evaluation services that we recommend. There's a few that you may have heard of. Some of the better known ones are World Education Services, Educational Credential Evaluators, Educational Perspectives, SpanTran. And so what happens is you will send your transcripts from Brazil or whatever country that you are from to this credential evaluation service. And you will request a course-by-course evaluation. And what they will do is they will take your credit from your home country or whatever country you earned your credential from, and they will put it on the U.S. system of education. And once they have completed their evaluation, they will send a copy to ECC. And we will take that and we will look at it, and you will need to fill out a form called a transfer credit evaluation form to let us know that you have this credit from outside of the United States that you want evaluated towards your degree or credential here at ECC. And what we will do is we will maximize the amount of credit that you have earned in Brazil to transfer in that credit to ECC. We have a individual on campus who is a transcript evaluation expert, and that is their job. Their job is to look at transfer credit from U.S. institutions, from institutions outside of the United States, and to maximize the amount of credit that we can transfer in. I will let you know that even if you only think you have one class from Brazil, let's say you took, intro to sociology or intro to psychology, and you only think one class is going to transfer, it is worth the effort and the money to get that evaluation done. I did my master's degree in the United Kingdom. I'm originally from the US, but I lived for some time in the UK, and I did my master's degree in the UK. And so I had to go through this process when I came back to the United States. I had to get my degree evaluated through a credential evaluation service and get it put on the US system of education, both for purposes of further education when I did my doctorate, and also for professional purposes when I was looking for employment after I did my degree. And it is something that I still use to this day. So it is worth it both in the short term and in the long term. Every college or university that you go to will have their own process for it, but in general, that will be the process. Okay, this question is for Ozma. I want to take admission in environmental science. Great. So what I would recommend is that you start with an Associate of Science or an Associate of Arts, and then transfer for a Bachelor of Science in Environmental Science. We do have lots of general science courses. We do have some environmental science courses. So I would encourage you to start at elgin.edu/apply. And your first step would be to look at the enrollment steps and fill out an application. Okay, this next question, this is a comment from Mamadou. I had to study there because I have my grandma and grandfather there. Great, that's fantastic. It's always easier when you have family nearby. Okay, this next question is from Islam. Can you tell me if there are any language courses? Yes. So we offer the intensive English program for students who need to learn English, but we also do offer foreign language courses. So if that is what you mean, Islam, there are foreign language courses in Spanish, French, German, Chinese, Japanese, and Italian. Okay, this next question, Marzia. I wanted to attend online. Do you offer? If you want to attend online courses from your home country, we do offer online courses. You can apply online and select that you want to apply, you want to attend online. You would not go through the international student visa process because as an international student, if you go through the international student visa process, you are required to attend courses in person. You are only allowed to take one online class up to 3 credit hours per semester. Those are federal F1 visa requirements. So if you wanted to attend your course online, you can do so from your home country, but that would be something that you would want to consider because a lot of courses are offered asynchronously. Okay, this next question is from Songku. I'm from Morocco. Is there any possibility to study in USA? Definitely. We get lots of students and applications and interest from Morocco. And I would definitely encourage you to look at our enrollment steps online and submit your application. We are definitely familiar with Moroccan transcripts and high school transcripts. We offer free evaluation for high school credentials. We do not charge for high school equivalency evaluations. Oh, I see. Drahul answered, and I'm looking for medicine and surgery only. So Drahul, one of the things that I would recommend is if you're looking for medicine and surgery only, you're going to want to start out with associate in science or go directly to pre-med, depending on if you already have a bachelor's degree. Okay, this next question is from Mohammed. I am wanting to study aviation in America because it is the best country in the world for aviation. Is there some kind of scholarship available? Can I work while studying? Okay, so aviation is a popular subject to study. Most community colleges are not, some community colleges may offer aviation. Aviation is probably going to be something you want to start out at a university for. We do not offer aviation. It is a niche subject. So my recommendation would be to look at possibly study in the USA and filter for that particular subject that you're looking for. But ECC does not offer aviation. So if you're on Study in the USA and you use their filtering by subject, you can definitely look for aviation and then contact the schools that are interesting to you, and you will be able to look for scholarships. A lot of community colleges aren't going to offer full scholarships, and full scholarships are pretty rare nowadays. So unless you have like a graduate sponsorship or full funding based on like athletics or very, very good academics, those are becoming a little bit more rare. But in terms of work, you can work on campus up to 20 hours a week from day one. But the F1 visa is not a work visa. So, you're here to study. And after you've been in CVIS in the country for 1 year, you can do pre-completion OPT, but we do recommend a lot of students wait for post-completion OPT. But that would be something that you want to talk to your DSO about when you have been here for at least 1 year. But you do want to have your funding in place so that you are not relying on working to fund your studies while you're in the US. Okay, this next question is from Moni. I live in Nigeria. I want to study in US. How can I apply? So the link to apply, I'm going to drop it here in the chat. And it's elgin.edu F1 apply is the short link, but you can also go to elgin.edu apply. Okay. All right, our next question comes from Isaac. I'm trying to study in the US, but I think most deadlines have already passed. Yes, many deadlines have already passed for fall. I'm graduating from high school in 2 months, and is it still possible to get accepted? It depends. So if you haven't graduated from high school yet, it may be difficult to still get accepted. We do accept students who have not yet graduated from high school, but who are at least 17 and have completed at least the equivalent of 11 years of secondary education. So if you have completed at least, you didn't say what country you're from, so I'm not sure if you've completed 11 years. If you've completed at least 11 years of secondary education and you are at least 17, you could apply for fall if you get all your documents in by July 1st. If not, then you could apply for late admission if you need IEP for fall. That deadline is not until August 1st. Okay, our next question comes from Nasir. I'm interested in taking admission for business and communication English. Fantastic. Business is one of our top majors. And so for that particular major, what I would recommend is an associate in arts with a major in business and communication English. And then you could transfer to whatever university that you're interested in. I would probably recommend like UIC, maybe Arizona State. They have a really, really good business program. And doing your BA for business and communication. Okay. Our next question comes from Saifullah. I want to study in USA. How much funds usually required for it? Okay, that's a very good question. And that is one of the reasons that is a question that I cannot answer. It is going to vary based on the institution. So one of the reasons why on the presentation, that slide had tuition factors from, the low end to that very high end for private universities. When you come to the United States, there is a federal requirement that students can come on different types of visas. There's M1 visas, there's F1 visas, there's J1 visas. For purposes of this presentation, I'm focusing on F1 visas, which is full-time F1 students, full-time international students. If you were to come on an F1 visa, the U.S. federal government has guidelines that state you must show at least funding for the first year of your studies, your first year of your academic studies. When you apply for admission to the college or university that you plan to attend, you will have to show evidence of financial support. Every college or university has different requirements for that number. At ECC, that number is $24,650 for 2024-2025. Now that number includes tuition, fees, living expenses, books, and insurance. And that is what schools refer to as the estimated cost of attendance. So regardless if you're living with family, regardless if you're living, with friends or in a dorm, or if you only plan to, attend part-time, it is very important that you understand that whatever the estimated cost of attendance is that the university or college that you plan to go to, you are going to have to show that in a bank statement, or your sponsor or sponsors are going to have to show that in a bank statement. Now at ECC, the bank statement does not have to be in your name. It can be in your sponsor's name. It can be in, if you have two sponsors, that's fine, but they will have to fill out an affidavit of support. So to answer your question, it can be anywhere. It depends on how long your program of study is. It depends on what you're studying. It depends on the university that you're studying at. I have seen some funding be as low as $10,000 for a 2 or 3 month program. And I have seen some be as high over $100,000 for a bachelor's degree, just for 1 year of study. So you need to make sure that that you're reading on the admissions page of the university or college that you're attending what that estimated cost of attendance is. Which university offer for a finance degree? That is not a question that I can answer. My recommendation, Murad, would be that you utilize the search function on Study in the USA. There are so many universities that offer finance degrees, some good universities too. I mean, every state has a public university that's going to offer a really good finance degree. Does ECC offer finance? Yes, we do offer the first 2 years of a finance degree. Can I contact you via email so I can discuss my related concern? Yes, you can reach us at international@elgin.edu. That is the best way to contact us, international@elgin.edu. I will put the email in the chat. This is the best way to contact us, international@elgin.edu. If you're looking for a particular program of study or you're looking for a specific degree, my recommendation would be Study in the USA has a really fantastic search option. If you go to studyintheusa.com or just search Study in the USA, go to your favorite browser, open Google, Study in the USA. Or you can search here from whatever, if you're on Instagram, if you're on Facebook, just click on the main contact up there at the very top, and you will see the search function on that main landing page, and just play around with it. Play around. What kind of school do you want to go to? What kind of environment are you looking for? Are you looking for a community college? Are you looking for a 4-year university? Are you wanting to study finance? Are you wanting to study pre-med? And do your research, because it really does make a difference where you're studying at and what kind of city you're studying at. And don't forget that the United States is a really, really big place, okay? A really big place. And every state is different, and every state has its own different kind of culture. Here in the Midwest, which is where Illinois, Chicago is, the Midwest is known as being very hospitable, very inclusive, very welcoming. We have 4 different seasons, so you will experience spring, you'll experience summer, you'll experience fall, autumn, and you will experience winter. Right now, it is summer. It is very, very hot today. It is it's supposed to be about 95 today, so that's about 32 degrees Celsius. It is very, very hot today, but the sun is shining, and it's not raining yet. It's beautiful out. But in the spring and the fall, we have just beautiful, beautiful weather. And downtown in Chicago, we're right on the lake. There's beaches. Lots of people like to go to the beach. And since we're centrally located in the middle of the country, it's really nice for traveling, especially since we're right near O'Hare International Airport. I just got back from Europe, and it was really nice because I was able to take a direct flight directly to Europe, and I didn't have to have any transfers. So if you want to go to the East Coast, the West Coast, California, Florida, Texas, whatnot, just for some traveling, it's nice because we are centrally located and right near a big airport, big international airport. So that makes coming and going quite easy. So I am very happy that you all were able to come, and that you all were able to, that I was able to share this information with you. If you are interested in attending or applying to ECC, please reach out to us at international@elgin.edu. Again, all of our admissions and application process is handled online. You can apply at elgin.edu, F1 apply, elgin.edu/international for more information, or reach out to us at international@elgin.edu. Again, my name is Lauren Nehlsen from Elgin Community College. It's been a pleasure to speak to you today, and I wish you a wonderful